really, because when you, it's only been certain demons that aren't. See, when you hear about demons, you see how scary they look, how the pictures they make you look, and all that. But really, to be honest, demons are scary themselves. They just look scary, right? But even the ones in the flesh, they have to have some kind of weapon to do harm to, or they have to have some kind of misadvantage. For real, don't ever expect anything to be fair uh, when dealing with demons of the flesh or in spirit. That's how they do. They thrive off fear. To be honest, they're like cowards. But our heavenly brothers are not. They're real warriors. I'm telling you. That's why I be telling y'all, uh, our heavenly brother, like when you read the Bible, you're probably thinking like robots serve God and on your knees and praying and serving. No, motherfucker, they gangsters fuck. They not like what you think. I'm telling you, they not like what you think. They just as gangster as these demonic people on earth, if not more gangster than them. Our heavenly brothers, well, besides Michael size, he's too big. Our heavenly brother Michael he's like 100,000 miles to 200,000 miles tall. He's fucking big, man. He's huge. But we got other heavenly brothers up there that's all size as well, and they gangsters fuck. They don't look like what you think they look like. You know, when you think they look real. They look like demons. We have heavenly brothers that are angels in heaven that look like demons. And when I tell you they get down, they don't fuck around, man. They get down. And that's why I guess you can say they expect us to be brave, but easy for them to say, right? Because they never lived. They never lived in the flesh, a lot of our heavenly brothers. And a lot of us never was dead, you know. And then we got these enemies, our number one enemies coming around fucking with us and harassing us and doing all this stuff. And so it's easy for them to say for us to be brave because they're not down here dealing with them. But I do see why. Because if they, like the Heavenly Father told me when I spoke to him, he was like, they, about the fish tanks we live in, he said there's things in some of the fish tanks that'll terrify men to death. It's the same way like that if they saw our heavenly brothers, because they expect them like humans, right? So say for instance, you got this army riding around killing people or whoever they are, right? Riding around killing people, doing what they want, cursing God, you know what I'm saying? Fuck you, blah, 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 bring your bitch ass down here, we'll do you the same way, and blah, blah. It's like, it's not even, the words don't even phase. It's like, because if they really saw in real life, you see, one thing I noticed, and now I understand why, because a lot of the demonic peoples of the flesh, they're not pure humans anyway. You know what I'm saying? They're human dragons. They don't think everything all the way clear, although they are extremely intelligent and smart as fuck. But they, I don't know, they have a habit of asking for things they don't really want, right? They say they want war or something, but when war comes to them and it's just as powerful, they don't want war. You see, so in the beginning, they started murdering God's kids because they wanted God to show themselves. They figure, okay, y'all are the real chosen Hebrew Israelites and all this shit, blah, blah, blah. Y'all saying, okay, well, now, y'all gotta die. And so they started murdering the hell out of us a lot, all over the place, and then just searching for answers for the Heavenly Father. But then when you really see him, they don't understand what the fuck are you gonna do? What can you do? It's gonna be worse than how you be having these people when you outnumber them and take away their family and friends and everything from them. But the good thing about it for them is they don't care. That's the good thing about it, because that's what you're gonna need in order to stay strong when you find out, when you finally, if you even see them, but you're gonna see them in the end. But oh my God, it's gonna suck to be them in the end though. But right now, you can say they winning. It looks like that. You know what I mean? It looks like that. They getting what they are being they, what you call it, they're getting what makes them happy. They're satisfying themselves by doing what they're doing. You know what I mean? Oh, and I was able to make a new Facebook page My new Facebook page is Ketron. It's Qumonnnketron. I just made it up. So if you go on there, you can send me a friend request there. Let me know what you if you got my Facebook page off my YouTube channel, so I can accept you. Um, but yeah, so that's it. I mean, in the end, it's gonna suck to be them, but right now, it's a plus to beat them because in their mind they're winning. You know what I mean? That's what they think. But to be honest, our heavenly brothers are scary looking, man. I'm telling you, they don't look like what you think they look like. When you find out, oh shit! And when you see them, if you ever, woo shit, you're gonna realize real quick you bit off more than you could chew. You go realize you asked for something you really didn't want. God damn. And it's really not fair though. So I understand. To be honest, I know to us who being murdered here on Earth and being followed and harassed by the human dragons every fucking day and destroying our lives and everything we got going on, I know it seems tough for us, and it is, but I can assure you, it's still not enough for our heavenly brothers to get involved. That's why they're still, because if they came down here to Earth, I'm telling you now, the human dragon would shit on themselves. Bad. I'm telling you, bad. There isn't a force on this goddamn planet that'll be stable if our heavenly brothers came down here. And number two, the numbers are just not big enough for them. So here on Earth, you could say that these human dragons outnumber us. Remember, Satan created a third of the stars in heavens and cast them upon Earth, which was 75%. And we, as Black people, are hated globally. What's up, little Bo Peep? What's up, sir? I created a new Facebook. You need go ahead and send me a friend request. It's Qumon, Qumонn, and my first name, Ketron. So if you get a chance, you can go over there and add me, and I'll accept you back. But I can't go live until 2 months. I guess Facebook got these new rules. When you open a new account, you can't go live until it's 2 months old. So I gotta wait 2 months, but I'm still posting there, and I got some new evidence on the human dragons that you're gonna want to see that I'm gonna post on there as well. So you might want to send me a friend request because you ain't gonna believe this, dog. I mean, it's unbelievable. But I'm gonna share it on my Facebook page when I get off this live. Yeah, drop your well, the reason why, just send me a message and then I'll add you. That way I can have your Facebook because I don't know your Facebook, and I know you don't like to put it out on live. Oh, okay. All right, I got you. I got you. I remember you wanted to stay anonymous, but yeah, I was just speaking on our heavenly brothers. How scary they are. They are huge, man, and that's why they don't get involved with our human affairs, really, because I know it seemed like we outnumbered on Earth and being terrorized, but really, if they came down, it ain't all the forces in the world couldn't combine to outnumber our heavenly brothers in heaven. And not to mention that I mentioned they real gangster as fuck, for real. You think they just like singing Kumbaya? No, they murk shit, man. They murder, they kill us. But so we'd fuck them up. Our heavenly brothers would fuck these people up on Earth if they came down. It wouldn't be a match. So that's why they sit back and they watch. There's billions of people in heaven watching Earth. Billions. I swear to God, I'm not lying, y'all. Listen, they would fuck these people up if they came down. It ain't a military in this world. If all the militaries in this world and all the citizens in their world teamed up, it still wouldn't be enough for our heavenly brothers in heaven. And that's another reason why they don't come down to Earth, because some loudmouth military popping off at the mouth or somebody, cursing God. Because if they just saw them, they would probably shit and die. I'm telling you, they're big. You think they're human size, but they're not. Our heavenly brother Michael alone, I'm gonna repeat this, is 100,000 miles tall. You know how big that is? We're not talking about like Nephilims, right? And the giants that was here before the Nephilims, because they were 1,500 feet tall. Now that's tall as fuck for a man. You know what I'm saying? That makes Shaq and them look like they this big, you know, and that Chinese dude, that the tall Chinese man, I forgot his name. And then you got Big Show and all them. They talking about like, oh, let me see. When I was little, I used to think that the stars were angels. They are. You're right. They are. Yeah, no, you're right, sis. That's them. Yeah. But let me say this though. The stars you see, they're not the only angels. There are all kinds. There are multiple kinds. There are kinds that you can't even see. But the stars you're looking up at night that's glowing, yeah, they are angels. That is what turned the sea colors from when Satan created his stars and cast them upon this earth. A lot of blue diamonds fell down with them. And they found them here on Earth. Right now, if you look it up on YouTube, they found like blue diamonds that fell from the sky, but they don't know where it comes from because the dummies don't read the Bible. So they don't know. When Satan created a third of the stars in heaven and cast them upon earth, it broke like the mold. That's how powerful Satan was. And diamonds fell from the sky into the ocean, start turning the ocean colors and made it salty and all that stuff. Yeah. And they found them in real life. They got the diamonds, and I mean they're expensive as hell and beautiful though. I'm not gonna lie, they beautiful for such an evil, demonic entity to create something that it looks beautiful as fuck, you know. Just like his creations, they're not bad looking as well, you know. It says, "Wow, okay, I didn't know that." Yeah, big sis, yeah. He created them. I forgot, like. It said broke the sky, but it really didn't. That was just the power that Satan had. Remember, the Heavenly Father gave him a lot of power. He was a high-ranking angel of God before he turned on them. And as a matter of fact, Satan and God was the only two in heaven to create stars in heaven. No one else. That's how much the Heavenly Father trusted Satan. But the book of Enoch, them tried to screw us over. They tampered the Bibles, all of them, and then made us think that it was Heavenly Father's angels who rebelled against him. That's a lie. The only angels that ever rebelled against God was created by Satan, which are the offspring of white folks. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be funny, but you got Satan, which is the dragon. Remember, if you remember from my YouTube, he's laying in the ocean between Antarctica and South America. Then you got Lucifer, which is the human dragon that was created by Satan, who started having sex. He was the one who having sex with the humans. And he is the one who had sex with the humans and created white people. That's where they come from. They're human dragons. Their ancestry lineage go back to Satan himself and Lucifer. That's what it is. That's why they eat raw meat or half cooked meat, and they like to drink blood and all that stuff. You hear them say that's not a lie. That's true. They really telling the truth. But they have to, because it's healthy for them, because they're half reptiles. If they don't consume that blood, they might get sick. Who knows? But they have to. Why do you think if you look at white folks good enough sometimes, you notice their teeth is sharp as hell. A lot of them have sharp teeth, and that's just naturally. Some of them have like dragon teeth, like lizard teeth in their mouth. You can see it, you be like, what the fuck? And then not to mention, you remember the eyes. You seen on my Facebook before they deleted me. And look, as soon as I made that discovery and I put it on Facebook, they deleted both of my pages. You know, they trying to hide it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you trying to hide it? That's the reason why so many white people are dead now, because they don't want to tell the truth who they are. These people don't know who they are, man. They walking around thinking that their stories is ours, but they wonder why their murder rate is so high. They kill like a motherfucker, man. They don't know because they still being lied to by the same people who claim they fucking love them. But if they love them, they'll tell them the damn truth. They're not pure humans. They're human dragons. That's why they murder a lot, man. That's why. They're human dragons. If they knew that, then they would try to resist that dragon side of them that wants to kill so damn much. And maybe they can make a real change, but they don't know. They around here doing it, but they are half human, but they around here doing all human shit, wondering why their kids get sick out of nowhere, why their babies dying and shit. Why do white people get breast cancer at an alarming fucking rate? Why their breast milk is not good? But When they used to breastfeed their kids, they fucking kids was getting sick. They had to use black women to breastfeed their children, you know, because they've been lied to. You're not full human, fool. You are a human reptile. You are a human lizard or a human dragon, and they're not telling you the truth. And that's why white people grow up and have to get their titties chopped off at an alarming rate, or they get breast cancer, and then they get jealous and mad at black people and come back and purposely give them breast cancer and all this shit and kill them because they're dying. Because they people lied to them. So they dumbass come out to the black community and kill the black community for no goddamn reason, when the people they need to be looking at is the people who fucking lying to them. Making them think that, you know, they're normal humans. You're not normal humans. You are a human dragon. There are certain things you have to do to keep your health up that a full human, that you don't copy a full human. There's certain medicine that you probably can take that we can't take. Why do you think you guys go to the fucking beach and lay all out on the beach? That's not normal behavior. You are a reptile, human reptile. That's why you do it, but you call it sunbathing and suntanning. That's the same shit snakes and lizards and alligators do. They go and lay in the fucking sun because they have to. If they don't, they'll fucking die. And that's the same thing would have happened to white people. They'll die. That's why they go lay out at the beach. You go to any beach in America, if it's hot, you'll see a whole bunch of white people laid out. You know I ain't lying. And they get their towels and they just be laying in the sun. That's because they are human reptiles. You don't see a bunch of fucking black people laid out all over the beach like that. Hell no, niggas trying to get away from the sun. They like, man, god damn, it's hotter than the motherfucker. Well, you might see them up under the tree, under the shade somewhere, trying to get out the sun. And the only way they're going to be in the sun is if they trying to get next to some pussy. A girl who they trying to impress, who might be laid out there in the sun. They might be looking at some ass or something. And, you know, so they're going to sweat in that sun just to get a good look at that ass. You get what I'm saying? But other than that, niggas ain't finna try to be laid out on no goddamn beach with some towels. Talking about tanning and sunbathing. Nigga, fuck that. That's white people shit. That's because white people are human reptiles. Yeah, they're real human dragons. They have to do that. And if you had a real white friend, you know they call it, they like their food medium rare, where it's still bleeding. A lot of food is still bleeding. And they love it like that. It tastes good to them. You know what I'm saying? The hamburgers and shit still got blood dripping out. Hey, and I remember when they first came out, and they had the celebrities eating bugs and shit. Remember that? And they were talking about having everybody eat bugs, spiders, and crickets and shit. And they showed all the white folks eating spiders and cockroaches and shit. You know? And they talk about it was good. Oh, it's good for you. Don't worry. It tastes good. And you can get some crickets and stuff. And, you know, they're eating crickets and shit. You know what I'm saying, right? They try to make... Yeah, you're right. It is good. It's good for you, motherfuckers, not us. Because you are human reptiles. So, yeah, you can eat bugs. I mean, you know what I'm talking about, right? Where they had the celebrities... Man, they were fucking those spiders up, right? I mean, big tarantula spider. They were just... I mean, I'm like, damn, they got legs broke all up in their mouth. They bite the spider and pus come out, and they were wiping the pus from up there. I'm like, oh, shit. They was eating like, not lizards, but like roaches, dead hissing cockroaches and maggots. And they had these fucking, I forgot what, and they was like, yeah, we're going to start eating bugs. And you know what I'm talking about, right? They had the news report, the news reporter out there eating bugs and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with these white people, man? But now it all makes sense. It makes sense because, like, I'm like, damn, no wonder why they was eating bugs, yo, because they half lizard, half human, which is half dragon, half human. So, yeah, it's good for them. It really is. And I was like, I remember when I first seen them doing that shit, though, I was like, nigga, you got me fucked. That shit ain't good. Who the hell gonna be dumb enough to eat some goddamn spiders and cockroaches, man? You people done lost your fucking mind. Spiders, cockroaches, maggots, hissing cockroaches, grasshoppers, centipedes? Man, hell no. I was like, what the fuck wrong with these people? And I was like, yo, these people literally lost their mind. They trying to advertise eating bugs to the citizens of the United States. I'm like, you motherfuckers are stupid. You act like we not a third world country yet. How the fuck you gonna advertise to a nation that they should eat bugs? You advertising to a nation that used to eating steak, lobster, and fucking shrimp. One of the so-called richest countries in the world, where people go to work and they eat what the fuck they want to. They go to fucking Wendy's, McDonald's, Chuckers. They go to all the fast food restaurants, and you're gonna try to advertise to one of the most richest nations in the world that we should eat cockroaches and spiders and snails and grasshoppers and crickets and maggots. Man, what the you people done lost your goddamn mind. I mean, and they had I forgot which white celebrity that was, man. I forgot her name, man. It was a couple of them too, and they picked up this big ass grub, like off of Lion King or something. It was a huge worm, and she bit into it, and all the white pus went to skeeting out all over her mouth, and she was like, it's good. I'm like, oh god damn. Oh. And then she bit the cockroach. Yo, that shit was crazy. I was like, damn. But now when you think, let me see what you say. No, what's up with the Asians giving people rats? Oh, yo, no, no, yeah, Asia too. They off the chain. But Asians are something else though. But they do have a few the human dragon's bloodline is strong in China as well, in Asia as well. Because remember, when blacks were slaves in America, along with Indians, because remember, India was colonized by the UK. Matter of fact, the whole goddamn world. That little ass country took over the whole world. Think about that. A little island took over the whole world. Canada, United States. I don't know about too much. I think, no, not too much about Mexico, but multiple countries in South America, the Bahamas, Jamaica, multiple countries in Africa, Australia, China, India. God damn. Damn. Yo, they took over the whole goddamn world. The Europe, call them Europeans, but yeah, Europeans, white folks, right? And so when the whole world was colonized, they didn't know that they were colonized by human dragons. Now remember, the only reason why they was able to colonize the whole world, because the whole world was not evil at that time. Everybody was singing and dancing and cooking and enjoying life, right? Now you got to remember, Revelations chapter 12 tells you there was a great red dragon who was trying to kill a pregnant woman baby, right? So he got mad and created a third of the stars in heaven and cast them upon this earth. So, and white people are the descendants of that, which means they are built for war. They're not supposed to have sympathy or nothing. Only to kill and have sex so that they can multiply. Only two things those are the only two things they were created for, to be honest. To kill and to have sex. Nothing, and for war. That's what they're made for. Literally. And so Satan got mad and was like, okay, you gonna give this bitch wings so she can fly away from me? All right, well, bet. I'm gonna flood your goddamn earth with a whole bunch of people of my creation, and they're gonna wipe your people out and everybody else out on that fucking earth. And that's what happened. They got here and they had a war state of mind. The Indians trust them and let them into America. They wiped the Indians out. The Mexicans trust them and they wiped the Mexicans out and took their land. It doesn't matter who they was friends with. They wiped them out. They wiped them out and colonized them. Same thing with the Africans. When they went to Africa, Africa let them in. They colonized their ass. And at the same time, they didn't just colonize them. They was fucking them. You know what I'm saying? So they was injecting their DNA inside of the motherland, around the whole world. But they forgot, once they did that, they wasn't pure human dragons no more, so they lost a lot of power that they had. That's why they fall a lot. That's why most of the time when they competing and they get knocked out so easy, a lot of them get knocked out really easy. They fall when they're trying to run fast. They look clumsy when they dancing. They off beat. That's why, because they're not pure anymore. They've been breeding out their bloodline so much to the point where now you got 1 billion missing kids. Every time you turn on the TV, kids are missing. Somebody's missing because they need the blood, to stay strong, or they're gonna die. They need the blood in the sun. If not for the blood in the sun, they're gonna get sick and die. So they drink a lot of blood, which they made the movie Vampires, or really the real truth behind vampires is human dragons. They didn't want to come out and say human dragons because then people would have been found out who they was. And they were afraid that once people find out who they were, they might kill them. Or, when they wasn't ready. See, now they ready. They don't care who know because, they got a fucking army, the whole world jiggling to their money and shit, so they don't give a fuck. But back then, they had to keep it on the low. They had to stay as low as possible. That's why they hushed the KKK up. That's the real reason why. They had to sit them down. Man, you motherfuckers making too much noise. You know what I'm saying? They gonna fuck around and find out who we are. Y'all over here killing all these people. Man, you got to pipe down. So they traded in them robes and stuff and went and got badges and uniforms. You know what I'm saying? And cop cars. And so, brought the diseases. Yeah, that's why they lied and said they come from monkeys. To be honest, the reason why they said that, the reason why they hit everybody with the monkey shit, it wasn't no man in no lab. The reason why, because some of their children was born with tails, and they didn't know what the fuck it was. Some of them, this was before they seen the ones born with wings and tails. Now remember, they were just born with tails at this point and sharp teeth. So they started screaming, monkey, monkey, monkey. That's what brought the disease over here. They came from HIV, from AIDS. No, it come from them because they're not human. They're not pure human. They half human, half dragons. And some of them were poisonous. If they bite you, you can get sick and die. If certain white people bite you, you can get sick and die. Your fucking skin will rot out. Some of them, but I don't know if they still possess those kind of powers because they were human dragons. There were multiple kinds of human dragons. They was venomous, like a fucking snake. I'm serious. If a white person bites you, your ass can get sick and die. And so they started all these rumors talking about it was the monkeys. Well, no fucking monkeys. What happened was when they was born with the tails, they started thinking monkeys because they kind of looked like monkeys to them. So they went and got the monkeys and they did the test studies. And that's how that started. They found out that they wasn't shit like no monkeys, but the monkeys were similar to humans. So they couldn't figure out shit but to say that humans evolved from monkeys. When that's a fucking lie. No human evolved from no animal, period. The only humans that comes from, and that's not even an animal, it's white folks. They come from a reptile. That's not an animal, that's a reptile. White people come from dragons. That's it. Nothing else. The Heavenly Father tells you specifically how he created the human. From the dirt, from the mud. From the mud. And the Bible tells you also how Satan's creations was created. All right, from the dragon. He cast him upon this earth. And then they start mating with the humans. The fallen angels you hear about was cast. That's why the motherfuckers was falling. They was cast out of heaven. They never failed no damn well. They was cast out of heaven because Satan created a third of the stars in heaven and cast them upon this earth, and some fought with him in heaven. Some stayed with him in heaven to fight the war against our heavenly brother Michael and them, which they all got their ass whipped and they all got cast out with the stars that Satan had already cast before the war started. Now, when the war started, Satan, I think, defeated our heavenly brother Gabriel. I think it was Gabriel. Yeah, when the war popped off, Satan caught Gabriel slipping. Him and his demons, they couldn't murk him, so they put it on Gabriel really bad. They messed him up. They messed up our heavenly brother Gabriel. So our heavenly brother Michael stepped in. And Michael and his crew came, and then Satan and Michael got it on, and the rest of his crew Satan's crew, his dragons, which were pure dragons at the time, and some were human dragons, got it on with our heavenly brothers in heaven. And Michael spunked Satan, and the rest of our heavenly brothers spunked the rest of Satan's creation, and they all got their ass cast out inside this earth, right where Satan cast the rest of his creations. Yep. And so everything that was here that Satan created that was evil, our heavenly Father been wiping them out because they were not his creations. They were Satan's creations. So what happened was, well, this is what I got from it. All right, this is what I got from it. When I had the little chat with the Heavenly Father, he said he gave them a chance. They're not his creations, but he gave them a chance to show that they can be civilized. Sort of one reason why he's, I guess, watching us with the white folks to see if we can coexist together. That's one reason, along with many other reasons, right? So he gave the giants plenty of chances to show that they can be civilized and stop with the damn destructions, running around killing a lot of stuff. And they did not. They were savages. They just kept killing, kept murdering, kept destroying. And so he wiped them out. He wiped them out. He gave them a chance. But they did not prove that they were worthy. They were worthy of his sympathy. They did not prove that they were worthy of his glory, or worthy to live a happy life on this earth, because they kept killing everything, destroying everything. So he destroyed them. There's only two left out of all of the stars in heaven, was Satan created and cast upon this earth. All 75% of their ass wiped out, dead. All of them. It's nothing. It's all kinds of bones spread out across this whole earth from everything that Satan has created. His whole damn army is dead. The only thing that's left from Satan's creation is that beast in the Gulf of Mexico, which is still alive. That's a bad motherfucker, by the way, must I may add. Excuse my language. He is bad, and he is alive, and he is due to awaken any day. That beast and Satan's offspring and Satan himself, my bad, 3, which is the white folks, aka white folks, who are worthy of going to heaven. I must I may add, because the white folks, believe it or not, some of them are more civilized, even though they're human dragons. Some of them are more civilized, and they act more human than our pure human brothers and sisters upon this earth. You know what I'm saying? So, which means you got some really good white people out there, but they are human dragons, which means they at any time though they could snap and they'll kill you. That's just who they are. You could be best friends with somebody that's white, never did nothing wrong to them, chilling and kicking it with them at their crib. Fuck around, they slip something in your drink, man. Just do shit like that, fuck around, spit in your drink or something. They just evil like that, fool. It's just them. You just really can't trust them. I mean, they nice and smile in your face and talk to you all happy, but if you turn your back, you never know what they putting in it. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's not a knock. It's just, that's just who they are. That's why they always at war with themselves as well. A lot of them commit suicide because they don't know where these thoughts coming from, why they battling, why they feel like they're always at war with something, why they so angry all the time, because their fucking people been lying to them from the beginning of time, lying to these people instead of just telling these people the truth so they can find out how to deal with what they are. They don't know that they're human dragons. So they walk around thinking that they normal humans and shit, and they're not. And they look like real 100% humans. The only thing that really gives them away is the tail, the wings, and the damn eyes. That's why a lot of them wear glasses. And the glasses make them feel good because they're hiding their eyes. But they don't know that's why they're wearing them. And when they take the eyes off, they got the damn, it probably scared them when they see their extra eyelid slit, like a snake. They got an extra eyelid that cover their damn eye and shit like that. It comes out of nowhere. It gives them a little slit like a snake. They're like, what the fuck? And they don't know. They think it's normal. And so they lied and told everybody that it's normal for humans to have a tail. No, motherfucker, because you're not a pure human. It's normal for you to have a tail because you're not a pure human. You are a human reptile, a human lizard, a human dragon. That's what you are. That's why you have tails. And that's why everybody y'all you have babies with or whatever, 9 times out of 10 is going to grow up extremely evil or kind of good. Mainly the males. The males grow up to be straight murderers and killers. And that's why most of the ladies have that crater on top of their butt. You know, everybody who has had that blood in or that DNA in them, who was born from that DNA, ended up being a victim or a murderer. And that's facts. Or they go crazy at some point in life because that's what the blood does. That's what the dragon created them to do. Go crazy, kill, murder, rape, have sex, do whatever you want to do. Just do it. You know, fuck this earth up. And that's what turned this earth into a war planet. Ever since then, the Heavenly Father created the people, his creations, to live on this earth and be happy and fruitful and multiply. And to be honest, you wasn't supposed to have one person. You're not. As a human, you're not supposed to have one person your whole goddamn life. Just one woman, you be with one person till you die. No, that's what runs you crazy. You're supposed to have multiple partners in your life, technically. But when they got here, they started creating all these diseases because, they had the diseases. And so in their mind, they got delusional and thought that, the black people must gave us these diseases. How the fuck? You had them slaves. But for some reason, they got in their head that the black people did it. So they went out and created shit like the CDC, all these disease places, and start creating diseases of their own and brought them right back out here to the community because they found all that shit in them. Instead of taking their ass over there to Antarctica and taking their ass over there to the same people who was lying to them from day one to figure out what the fuck they are. So then they would know why all this shit was in their blood. Why the fuck all they women get breast cancer all the time? Why they gotta get fake titties and fake booties and stuff to hide the tail, the natural look. Why they have to get all these plastic surgery all the time to hide who they really are. Why they gotta put makeup on and all the contacts and stuff, all that. Because they've been lied to their whole life. They've been lied to. You're not pure humans. You're human dragons. If they would have taught you that from day one, you guys would have been way more better than you are now. But nobody taught you that because your whole goddamn life, they lied to you. Right, yeah. I wish we could see all their hidings in that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Big Sir. That is the key. That is the key. You hear what I'm saying? Antarctica. That's the key. That's the key. Antarctica. Yes. Yes. That's the key. Antarctica is so important. There's so many secrets there. Tell me this. All these white folks, think about this, that is at war with each other, who claim they hate each other, here in the mainland in America and in this side of the world, all got military bases in Antarctica living happily ever after together. They discovered a real gold mine. You hear what I'm saying? And I'm not just talking about the volcano they discovered in Antarctica that spits out $7,000 worth of gold every day. Every day. They found a volcano in Antarctica that spits out $7,000 worth of gold every single day. All right? That's already going to make you a billionaire, a zillionaire, because you got gold every fucking day. That's like receiving a check for the rest of your life for $7,000 every day until you die. $7,000 a day, you practically rich. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people take $7,000 a day over $5 million in cash. Because once they blow that $5 million, that's it. That's the end of the saga. But if they blow that $7,000, they got another 7 coming tomorrow. That's okay. And the next day after that too. All goddamn week, months, years, 7 bands. So, you're rich. That's the only thing the entire world leaders could agree with, right, is not allowing anyone to see what's there. Yes. And I'm going to tell you, because they not only, remember they killed the man who discovered the land on the other side of Antarctica. The real green grass is so beautiful there. Beautiful, peaceful. Oh man. And there's a whole nother world. In Antarctica lead to Asgard. They don't want people to know that. Asgard is another planet right next to our planet. There's multiple planets. Remember, it's like a maze. It's like the Heavenly Father got us in a big ass fish tank that, like when you go buy gerbils with, you go buy your little rats, they run around a little wheel, nigga, go through the little tunnel and go to another side of the fish tank. It's the same thing. It's a big ass fish tank. That's why we live on giant dead turtles. But in this fish tank, it connects to other fish tanks, which are other worlds. So Antarctica is a gateway. That's why the map stops at Antarctica. That's the fucking reason why, because they know what's there. They know what's there. The only problem they coming up with, the real problem, and the real reason why they all screaming war on Earth with each other and all that, and having all their people die. Why do you think, think about this. America has only been at peace, 7 years since it was created? 7 years. America has always been at fucking war. Why do you think that? Because the real people who've been lying, the real white people, aka human dragons, who was lying to the unknown, the other white people, aka human dragons, must have found out what they were. And so to stop them from finding out what they were, or to ever getting too strong, they send their ass off to war to die every certain amount of years before they could figure out what they are and fuck around and take over the government. So they send them off to war. So while they dying on that, and in the war, they don't have time to figure out what they discovered in Antarctica, which is a whole nother world. Now, the only problem with that, they don't have enough gas, enough fuel to get them to the other planet and back. They don't have enough gas. It takes too long. It's not like selling from America to China. That takes long as it is already. That means that a ship coming from China got to already have, a boatload of motherfucking fuel on it to either fuel it up when it gets to America so that it can make it back to China, or to get fuel from America to make it back to China. They don't have that in Antarctica. So, and then not only that, what scares them is that once they get to the other planets, they don't know what's in Asgard. And they just figured out the people in back in Antarctica, and they just released one picture of one Antarctican, if you want to call it that. I thought Asgard was in the middle of the earth. No, Big Sil. Asgard sits out. Okay, our earth. No, Asgard is not even in this realm. Let me tell you what's all that's in this earth with us, in this side of the fish tank. There's South America, which is Satan's left wing. There's Antarctica, which is Satan's right wing that has been chopped off. Then you got Africa, Australia, United States, Canada, Mexico. Then you got Russia, Indonesia, and all them countries, little islands up in there. And that's about it. we're not including all of the small islands, New Zealand and all that. Oh, and then you got I forgot about Greenland because that's half of the turtle shell actually, which is Greenland, and that's basically, if I'm not mistaken, I think Asgard had I gotta relook at the map again, but the last time unless all of these people are faking their death for real, like that guy Epstein guy and all. Now they might have land set up on the border of Antarctica. That's why they quick to yell war here. I'm thinking, because when they destroy all this shit up, they're gonna run over there to Antarctica, and then they're gonna live in Antarctica in the back of Antarctica. But the only thing about that, I heard that some people are saying the sun never goes down in Antarctica, which I thought, damn. And they said time is in reverse or something like that in Antarctica. I'm like, what the fuck? So that's amazing as itself. And not only all the life, the weird life that they find it, but remember, before they deleted my Facebook, I did the video and I found out where Satan's wing was chopped at, where it was bleeding from. Those they got rivers that they got military bases on, or some kind of bases on, right on top of the blood in Antarctica. And inside those rivers, they got like living organisms that lives from inside Satan blood. Put it like that. Rivers of Satan blood that's I was thinking it's a distraction too, though. Yeah, it is a distraction. You're right. Yeah. And then let me see, crazy work. I wonder if these aliens come back to whatever they were promised. What? I wonder if these aliens coming back for whatever they was promised. Oh, I don't know. I mean, now, I don't know, but I think that it could be true because of the planets they discovered. So yeah, they could probably go out. When you look at all the videos they on YouTube that they made funny jokes out of, talking about lizard people, that shit is true. The world is being ran by lizard people, but they're not the lizards you think. They're real human dragons, but they don't look like how they made them look like, making them look like lizards and people. Probably do communicate with the other life that they have discovered, because they, it's a big possibility. Crazy work. Yeah, you're right. I wonder if these aliens are coming back for what they was promised. I was thinking it's a distraction too, though. Yeah, you're right about it. It is a distraction. We need to do a live ASAP when you can and dive deep. Yeah, we could do the live whenever you like. I mean, I could probably I can go to a all right, then just let me know when you want to do it. Matter of fact, let me end this live right now then. Let me know when you want to do it.